Black sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. Y'all see the title. Zelensky said he never got the money. Zelensky spilling the beans to Donald Trump. He's saying, I never received the money from Congress. Every time I asked for money, I never received it. We didn't get that 6.4 billion. We didn't get that 4.6 billion. We didn't get that 11 billion. We didn't get that 2 point another 2. We never got that money. Now you guys know I have been on Zelensky. I've been on him, and like I was watching this interview the other day with Tucker Carlson and Pierce Morgan, and as y'all know, Tucker Carlson just straight up told Pierce Morgan, look, Zelensky's a dictator. He's a straight up dictator, and he didn't have elections. Now, aside from me not liking Zelensky because he's an obvious dictator, right? They didn't have. Now, his excuse was we can't have elections during a war, per se. And now, America and the European Union is asking, they're actually putting pressure on Zelensky to have elections because Vladimir Putin has busted him out and said, "Look, you're not legit. You're not legitimate at this point. After 5 years, you're not legitimate." So, y'all know all the reasons why I don't approve of Zelensky and why I disapprove of the whole his position. And now, a person can argue and say that Vladimir Putin's a dictator. Okay, you could make that argument, and I wouldn't try to refute it. But what I'm saying is that Zelensky, the main point that I'm making is that he said that, ew, it's warm out here too, man. I should be back to work tomorrow. The mornings are real cold, but the sun comes out around 11 and it is warm. Got the AC running. Okay, so the point that I'm making, you guys, is that Zelensky is now claiming that he never received none of the money. I find that a little doubtful and a little hard to believe. Hey, what's going on? Pico, what's going on? Chubbs, what's going on? Hey, Chubbs, why you ain't got a dang. Hold on, Chubbs. Chubbs, why you ain't got the damn wrench? Okay, shout out to Chubbs, man. There goes your wrench. I thought you had one already, Chubbs. I'm sorry. I guess I be seeing you on Miss Lynn's channel, and I be just assume I guess you have a wrench over here, but you got one now. Oh, Miss Lynn did an excellent show on Trump and Venezuela, or was it Venezuela or Panama? She did an excellent show. Y'all check that out. I'm gonna like it and post it. Um, but shout out to Talk Sports. Hey, good morning, Sports. I ain't seen you in a while, man. I know I ain't been doing videos, so it's kind of my fault. Chubbs, thanks, Mr. Black Sun. You're welcome. Beverly White, hi, Black Sun, and chat family. Hello, y'all. So, have y'all heard Zelensky has had a talk with Putin? Not talk with Putin. They're trying to get everything together. Putin, Trump, Zelensky, they're about to have some peace talks. And so, yeah, we're about to see an end to the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Putin doesn't call it a war, so I'm not going to call it a war because both sides has to agree that it's a war. I know that's semantics. There are more people who have died in that than World War II. They're saying so. This is a major loss of lives, regardless of what we call it, regardless of which side you take. Man, Trump doesn't want to see the lives taken of Ukrainians or Russians. So he wants to end that. He just wants to end it because, as y'all know, war is bad for business, especially the business that Trump is in. Trump is into real estate, and people having wars and blowing up buildings and all that is bad. And that's why when people try to say Trump is a warmonger, that's like, no, 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 no. You can call Trump anything but a warmonger. He is not a warmonger because it is bad for business. So, Anywho, so Trump, he's trying to get everything lined up with Putin and Zelensky. And so I guess Trump had a conversation with Zelensky. It's like, okay, so, Trump is a money man. And he's like, well, where's all this money that's been sent? And Zelensky said, we didn't get none of the money. Let me say that again for Beverly, Pico, Chubbs, Relax and Talk Sports. I can't relax and talk sports because guess what? Relax and Talk Sports, our tax dollars is up in the clouds somewhere, and Zelensky said he didn't get none of it. Now, even though I don't support the war in Ukraine, at least they have. Even I don't have to agree with it to say, you know what? Okay, well, the money for the taxes has been sent to Ukraine. Okay, I don't agree with Ukraine, but okay, even though they're losing the war in Ukraine, but okay, it's going somewhere. You can actually you can write down and have receipts that okay it went to Ukraine, and Zelensky is saying, well, we did not receive it. We not receive none of that money. So now I'm understanding that there's a lot of funny business going on in Washington. There are like people I don't know if and in fact this has hit me, somebody that I know personally whose account has been hit by some Nigerian offshore account, and lo and behold, Trump, some exec with some Nigerian guy fled, got on the plane and fled. A lot of stuff going on now that Trump is taking over. The damn Democrats are kind of stall in the appointment of Pam Bondi, I believe, got nominated, but they're trying to stall on Cash Patel. They're trying to stall on Kennedy. They're trying to stall as Tulsi Gabbard. They're trying to stall as much as possible. Well, why are they trying to stall? I think they're trying to stall to buy them time to leave the country. To leave the country. Leaving the country is not a unusual thing. Just ask Steve Harvey and ask Ellen DeGeneres. Just ask them. It's not uncommon to leave the country nowadays. During Trump's first presidency, a lot of people talk the talk. Oh, I'm leaving the country if Trump is elected. They talked all the talk. Nobody left. Share. Nobody left. But now, no, people are leaving. Like for real now. People are leaving for real now. People are leaving the country just as Steve Harvey, just as Ellen DeGeneres. They got on a plane and they caught out. They caught out. What up, U.S. Army retired, man? I ain't seen a man. I need to go, man. Roll and get a show of a title that I liked, and I'm like, damn, Roland. When you pick a title that I can relate to, I know nothing about it. I kept seeing shows about the super mayor and just titles that weren't really, that weren't really my cup of tea. And then she did a damn thing on Trump and Venezuela. I said, damn, that's right up my alley. So Roland, that's my type of show, So that's my type of show. So I don't know. So if she do more titles like that, y'all see me back on the show. But like I said, it's just certain titles that are not my cup of tea. Talking about Tippy Henyard, it's not really not my thing. So y'all know what type of stuff I do. So back to Zelensky. Yes, Zelensky said he never received the money. He never received the money. And so now I'm very interested on where did this money go? If he's telling the truth. So let me ask y'all, do y'all did so Zelensky is saying that he never received the money. So is Zelensky telling the truth? Is he lying? See, asking a person like me, I'm a little biased because I don't trust Zelensky. Him being, I don't, him being an actor and all that. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know. And it's not about me even trusting Zelensky. I don't know whether or not to believe him. So I'm going to have to do some research. I'm going to have to do, and how will I know? Well, basically it's going to come out because Trump is going to look for some receipts. Trump is going to specifically look for his receipts. Okay, let me read the comments real quick, y'all, because y'all are really, when he didn't get the money, did Biden take it from himself? That's what we're trying to find out. That's what we're trying to find out, Relax and Talk Sports, because Zelensky spilled the beans to Trump. He said, look, I didn't receive none of the money. So where's the money? Because that's a lot of money. You're talking about billions. When you talking about funding a war, when you're talking about supplies, military equipment, you're talking about burned out buildings, medical supplies, you're talking in the billions, damn near the trillions of dollars. And for Zelensky to say he didn't get none of that money, this is major. This is major news, you guys. This is major. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth. Zelensky saying, I didn't get nothing because I'm sure Trump asked for receipts. I'm sure he's saying, well, what about the money you got, this and that? Again, remember, they weren't expecting Trump to win. So myself and others have always said that this whole conflict in Ukraine was a cash cow because it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Like nobody believed, at least I never believed, nobody sensibly believed that Ukraine was ever going to beat Russia. Nobody believed that. So I had a problem from the gate. U.S. Army, fellow veteran, you know, I had a problem from the gate because my thing is this: even though in the military we're taught not to give up a battle to seek through the mission, now that I'm a civilian, I can look at back at things and I'm like, nah, this doesn't make sense. I can look back and be like, no, this is a lost cause. This is not a winning battle. And when you look at Ukraine and you look at Russia, logistically, Ukraine cannot win against Russia. And so I was already against that. However, even me being against that U.S. Army, you can write down and say, okay, well, we're sending supplies, and I can't refute it, I can't debate it. But when the leader, president of Ukraine said we never received that money, we never received that money, and we're talking billions, then it becomes a problem. It becomes a very, very serious problem. And so, like Relax and Boris said, did Biden take it? So now we got to find out the channels of where this money because Congress approved the money. What's going on, Mac? Mac, we having some money issues, Mac. Welcome to the show. We're having money issues. Emmylou, I've never. Oh, Emmylou has a wrench. I never seen Emmylou. It was theft. Period. See, this is what makes me mad because y'all see it clear as day. Y'all see it clear as day, and this is big news right here. Like I said, y'all see, I haven't done the show, and when I said, no, I got to get the camera on. When I got the camera on, it's big news. This is big news. Where did those billions that's almost in the trillions go? Even the people who supported Ukraine should be mad right now. Whether you supported Ukraine or didn't support Ukraine, you should be mad right now. Absolutely livid because we're talking about trillions of not billions, trillions. So where did this money go? Where did this money go? So what we're going to have to do is trace the money. So of course we got to start with Congress, everybody. Mac, we got to start with Congress. And then we got to follow the trail where the money went because the money dipped off somewhere because the money never made it to Zelensky. So it left Congress and it never made it to Zelensky. So we have to trace where the money went, and is Zelensky telling the truth? You know, and this comes from a person who I really don't care for Zelensky, and I should really refrain from me talking about my personal feelings towards this dictator. But again, you know what? I'm not going to do that, y'all. I'm not going to do that. I say that to say this. I say that to say this. I believe Zelensky. I believe him. You know why I believe Zelensky? Because Trump is the type of person who asks for receipts. Trump is the type of person who asks for receipts. And because Zelensky was unable to provide receipts, he was unable to provide the receipts. Therefore, the money fell off somewhere. It fell off somewhere. Now, in the past, y'all know, yeah, and I know Mac would be like, Black Son, yeah, you said Zelensky was taking the money for, and I'm just being funny, Mac. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm being, you know what I'm saying, Mac. You know, I've gotten on the show and said Zelensky has been pocketing that money and sending it to his mansion in Florida. Zelensky has a mansion in Florida. There's no debating that. So they say there's no honor among thieves, meaning a thief will lie. And so if you have a bunch of thieves, there's no honor. And I mean, when the shit goes down, everybody's going to point fingers and say, no, he did it. No, he did it. No, she did it. She did it. No, they did it. So I'm going to ask my chat, my wise chat. Let's have a discussion today because I really need you guys' wisdom today. I know what we're all thinking. We're all thinking that money was stolen. But was Zelensky in on it? Or is he telling the truth saying we didn't receive that money? Trump is going to find out the truth. I hope Zelensky knows this. Obviously, Biden knows this, and this is why Biden is pretending to have dementia. This whole dementia thing was a farce from the get go. Since day one, when Biden was elected, he played the dementia part because he's like, man, Trump is on my tail. Even when he got elected, even when the 2020 went down, Biden knew. And so, Black Sun, you like Black Sun? So you're saying Biden don't have dementia? Are you saying that? Are you saying that it's fake? I'm saying that it seems a little convenient. That's what I'm saying. I'm not being a conspiracy. Don't look at me as a conspiracy theorist, y'all. What I'm saying is that his dementia was it's just so convenient. But he had enough mental clarity to pardon all his family members. But he has dementia. Oh, and shout out to Jesse. If y'all see Jesse, shout out to Jesse because he won a bet. Me and Jesse are still gonna have this discussion on how he knew, or how he needs to explain how he knew about J6 getting the pardon and Fannie Willis not getting the pardon. So yeah, Jesse, we want your explanation. We want you to come on the show and we can set it up, Jesse. And anybody not know Jesse, let Jesse know. If you see him on Miss Lynn's channel, let Jesse know. We need to do a show together and you need to explain that, Jesse. Because I usually don't make bets that I don't use. Usually I make a bet and I usually make bets I know I can win before I even make the bet. That's how I can win that bet. And then I make the bet. I don't make bets that I don't really gamble. I make bets I know I'm going to win. And I said either they're going to pardon J6 and Fannie Willis, or they're not going to pardon J6 and Fannie Willis. It's a package. And I'd be damned if they separated that package. Let me roll down the window because it's hot out here, man. Jesus Christ, it's hot. I'm in front of the Publix. I got to go pick up some food and some vegetables. I got to make now. I got to make for this season. I got to make spinach. I make like a soup, my own soup. I don't do canned soup. I make my own soup from scratch. I make spinach, collard greens, peas, spinach, collard green, peas, spinach, collard green, peas. Oh, broccoli, and then I chop in jalapenos. I chop in just a pinch of ginger, and of course, I chop in garlic, and I put walnuts on top of it. So, And then I don't let it boil. I just told my mom this morning because she has a habit of boiling stuff. I told my mom this morning, let it simmer, let it simmer, because she has some type of cold that she says she's had for over a week now. So I said, well, try this. And the you let it simmer. If you're able to stick your finger in it and let it be warm, don't now if you stick your finger in it and burn it, it's too hot. Let it simmer and let all the juices and all the damn nutrients, and you eat that, but you still want it to be crunchy, but not like hot. You don't want it to be hot. It's a process, but anywho, that's good for drawing up phlegm and that type of stuff. And also ginger lemonade. Now, ginger lemonade is actually an ancient. I'm not going to even say ancient. A lot of us used it to pull up toxins out of our body and pull up mucus. And ginger, lemon. A lot of these toxins can't survive with lemon juice, the acids out of lemon and ginger. You only add a pinch of sugar so you're able to drink it, because you can't just drink lemon and ginger juice raw. You'll burn everything up. But to neutralize some of it, to make it bearable, you have to put a little bit of sugar, and there you go. Anywho, let's be back to the. I'm gonna do a show on home remedies. I'm gonna do that. Me and my mom, we were talking this morning about remedies, and we were sharing recipes. And she was talking about boiling lemon and honey and a shot of brandy. But I was like, okay, yeah, and I remember as a kid me taking that, and yeah, and she said she sweats it out. But if you want to be active like I am, you'll do the lemonade ginger. That way, you don't necessarily have to bundle up and sweat it out. You can actually drink that, and it actually all the it pulls out of mucus out of your system, and you can still be active and walk around and be, go to the store and do things you have to do. Anywho, let's get back to Zelensky. So yeah, I have to do some research on Zelensky, and I have to really study Zelensky because y'all know Zelensky is an actor. Let me read some of these. U.S. Army retired says he is on it. No, no, no. That was U.S. Army said I think Zelensky skimmed some off, but so did Biden administration. Okay, but U.S. Army, what you're saying is skim off the top, but the money still made it to Ukraine. Zelensky is claiming the money never made it to Ukraine. So that's more than skimming. No, skimming is like, okay, the money going to point A to point B, that from the Congress to, and you just taking a little bit, that's skimming. Zelensky said the money never made it because Trump is asking for receipts. The money never made it. So help me out, U.S. retired. Help me out, brother, because I hear what you're saying, but what you're saying is not matching up with Zelensky told Trump. What you're saying is not matching up with Zelensky told Trump. So I got to get your take on that. U.S. Army retired. I got to get your take on that because it's not lining up. Trump is asking for receipts. So is Zelensky lying? It's possible that he did skim off the top and the money made it, but he cannot produce the receipts. So for all Trump knows is that the money never made it to Ukraine. Just like Zelensky is saying, well, we never received the money. So in theory, Army retired, the money never made it to Ukraine. If you don't have, okay, you've been on, U.S. Army retired, okay, you got the F-14s, you got the jets, you got the Abrams tanks, you got the medical supplies. I mean, there have to be receipts, there have to be documentation. You're talking about trillions of dollars. You're talking about Let me go. Let me get to the. Okay, roof like roof look crazy. Ink Money. Okay, welcome to the show, Ink Money. I own several vehicles. I own this hoopty that I drag race in, and I have a pickup truck, and I have a dump truck. So, I mean, yeah, it looks crazy. Don't be distracted. If nuclear war breaks out, all of the world's gonna look like this. So don't be distracted. Me driving my hoopty should not affect you. Okay, okay. Welcome to the show, Eek Money. Welcome to the show, Eek Money. Okay, so we're having an important conversation here. We're talking about, it's funny. Your name is Ink Money, and we're talking money, and you're distracted. But your name is Ink Money, but you're distracted. But you're distracted because we're talking about money. We're talking about trillions of dollars here that we're trying to find. We're trying to find. We're trying to find. We're trying to find. We're trying to find this money. Okay, so I'll let Jesse know. Okay, then Mac said he'll let Jesse know. Thank you, Mac. Yeah, because I want to get him on the show, man, because he had a nice insight that I didn't have. I didn't have no insight on that. I was like, there's no way Biden is going to pardon J6 and not pardon the underlings, Fannie Willis. So, because she was part of the J6 committee, and it's going to come out in due time. And I'm gonna do another show on that. In fact, I want to do show. I want to wait until Jesse's on the show so we can have that conversation because Georgia's not through with Fannie Willis. It's just begun. The Fannie Willis saga has just begun in Georgia. When I talk about Georgia, I'm talking about the Georgia Senate. I'm talking about uh, Judicial Watch, which they've already won that case, and she's been ordered to pay. So that's done. She's got to pay them. So that little epic saga of Judicial Watch going after Fannie Willis is done. She has to pay them. She has to pay them. So Lou says he really sent it for real. His handlers handled the business. Uh, if his handlers handle the business and they don't have no receipts, that means the handlers have the money. Whoever didn't do receipts, that means when you take money and you don't have documentation, that means you can take all the money. So where did the money go, y'all? Where is the money? So that's how this works, and that's why Trump is like, okay, well, where are the receipts? Where's the documentation? And Zelensky's like, I don't know. So technically, Zelensky is right. Ukraine never received the money. Technically, so believe, I have to technically believe Zelensky because the money is not, there's no documentation. So wherever the documentation stops, that's where the money is. And apparently, it didn't reach Ukraine. It didn't reach Ukraine. Now, this one thing I can agree with people who support Ukraine and people who don't support Ukraine. We can all agree because we're all taxpayers. Where is the money? Even though I don't agree with the Ukrainian situation, that money should have went to Ukraine. Where is the money? Where's the money? Where is the money? So we got to find again wherever the documentation stops because again the Congress signed it off. So here's Congress. They signed off for the money to be approved, and now the money's disappeared because it never made it the point. Oh my God, who is this fucking idiot? I hate when people play their music loud. Oh God, I hate that shit with a passion. Okay, so let's get to Chubbs. Chubbs said, going to try that had a cold since last week and still not feeling well. Yeah, Chubbs, try that. Try that again. It's called I call it walnut soup. Again, spinach, collard greens, peas, and broccoli. Those are the four main ingredients, and then chopped up jalapenos, a pinch of ginger, garlic, and walnuts, and let that simmer, and it'll pull out whatever's in your. It will pull it out and chase it down with some ginger lemonade. Oh, I gotta move this car, man, because this fucking idiot right here is playing this fucking music loud. Let me move my car. Fucking idiot. Yeah, you. Fucking dumbass, bro. You hear that shit? Damn, nobody wants to hear that fuck shit, man. I gotta move my car, man. I gotta walk farther. You know what? That's cool. A little walking don't hurt me. Little walking. I mean, hell, I work out anyway. So yeah, let me park far away from this nigga playing his music loud. Damn, because I don't want to hear the nigger noise this morning. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't ever want to hear that shit ever. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. So lemonade and ginger. Yeah, yeah, but don't put a lot of sugar in it. Just enough sugar to make it bearable. Because again, sugar feeds mucus. Sugar feeds mucus, but you can put enough sugar to make it bearable because lemon and ginger juice is not bearable to the human body. It is strong. So yeah. Um, U.S. Army says, is that the case? Then the Biden administration redirected it, laundered, or Zelensky is lying. Needs more investigation. Army, and that's where we're at. So we have to find the documentate wherever documentation starts. That's where we start the investigation. U.S. Army, because everything has a paper trail, and this is what Trump was alluding to. Like, okay, well, where's the documentation? I'm sure Trump has already went to Congress, so Congress is covered. They're saying, look, this is for the war efforts in Ukraine. Here's a check. So now that approval process, we can verify that, but somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, that money didn't make it to Ukraine. And so wherever the documentation stops, that's where our investigation begins. And I promise y'all, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this because where the documentation stops, that's where our investigation starts. Army, retired. That's where our investigation starts. Let's see. Foxhound. Yo, what up, Foxhound? Chubb says Zelensky right. It didn't make it to Ukraine and went straight over seized bank accounts for his later use. Okay, so Chubbs, there's documentation. Now, even now, U.S. Army made a good point. He says the money was laundered. So that means the documentation is going to lead to a point. There's no way around this. There's no escaping this. That means even if you're laundering money, there has to be a point where the documentation stop at this point. So wherever the laundromat is, there's documentation up to that point. And there's no way around this. There's no way around this. You know what I'm saying? But see, people, the swamp, and this is why they're mad at Trump. There are people in Washington that know how to turn their heads and look the other way. But that documentation doesn't stop. The documentation doesn't stop. It's people that are paid to look the other way, but the document. I mean, in fact, now, let me say that. Did I say that the right way? The documentation don't stop. If the documentation stops, and so now Trump has to put in new people like Cash Patel and Pam Bondi to now start the investigation where the documentation stopped. And this is what they fear in Washington. This is what they fear about RFK. Because if y'all look at the RFK thing is the same thing. They don't want to approve RFK because RFK is going to use the same procedure. Okay, well, it's all about the documentation and where the documentation stops. Because if there's people being paid to look the other way, that means documentation goes to a certain point. So he's going to do that with the science. I'm going to do a separate show on RFK because RFK deserves a separate show. Again, he had a second hearing. It was off the chain. He exposed Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a punk. He is an old punk, man. That is a one punk. He got exposed by RFK on the second hearing. Yeah, there's two hearings. Y'all works the first one was good, and the second one, oh, he busted out Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders like, oh, well, oh yeah, and then Bernie Sanders asked RFK son, man. RFK was like, well, you guys, I mean, I'm here to stop construction, just like you, Bernie. You get paid millions of dollars. No, 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 wait, wait, no, no. Yeah, he got busted out. He got busted bad. Oh my gosh. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren have put themselves out there. They are whores for Big Pharma. Straight up. They are whores. So um, he's going to use the same methodology. The methodology is simple, you guys. Find out where the documentation stops. And usually it puts you in front of a laundromat that launders the money. And so that's what we're going to find out. And this is going to be fun. Y'all make sure y'all share this video and subscribe because we are going to get to the nitty gritty. This is going to be the narrative. This is the narrative. I don't care what's going on in the world. This is the narrative. There's no other story that beats this story. This is huge. This is big. This is like gigantic. This is the most corrupt thing because we're talking about trillions. There's no amount of money more than trying to fund a war, trying to fund a conflict. And you mean the country that is asking for the money, that needs the money, is not getting the money? We're talking about the biggest money laundering scam in the world. And oh yes, we're going to cover it. Let's get back to this chat, y'all. So Chubbs, okay, Lou says, does Zelensky yearly income equal to his high-end lifestyle currently? No, no, no. It well, Lou, let me say this. By him being a president and him being uh, a leader of a current conflict, like Army Retired said, he is able to skim. But the thing about skimming is that you're in charge of the channels. When I say channel, meaning the path of where the money's going. So you got to make sure the money travels from point A, that is Congress, to point B, which is Ukraine. So Congress has documentation of them cutting the check. And then Zelensky saying he did receive the check. This where the problem lies. This where the problem lies, and this is what we're going to get to the bottom of this because somebody is lying, obviously, and you guys, I mean, you guys know somebody is lying, and I want to give, I don't want, I want to approach this fairly. I don't want to use my biasness towards Zelensky because he might be telling the truth. He might be in on it, and he might be lying. He's either telling the truth or he's in. Well, if he's in on it, he's lying. So this lies the problem. This lies the conflict. Like we got to find out if he's telling the truth or not. So, and like Trump asked for receipts. Like, well, where's the receipts? So I don't have it, Mr. Trump. I don't have it. I don't have the receipts, Mister. We never received the money. So Trump gave that look. Trump gave that goddamn. Trump gave that goddamn. That damn. That photo he took down here in Fulton County when he got arrested. The mugshot. Trump must have gave him the mugshot look. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I got to clown a little bit. Trump gave him the mugshot look when he said that. He like, Mr. Trump, I don't have that. We never received the money. He's like, do you have the receipts? Do you have the receipts? No, no receipts. He gave him the damn mugshot look. Tell me you didn't give him the mugshot look, chat. Okay, let me Lou says money in offshore bank accounts. Again, Lou, you can trace that money. Like I said, the channel, there's a channel to go to the offshore bank account. There's a channel, and that channel can be traced. There's no way around it. There's no way around it, and this is why a lot of times, if and like I said, I know somebody whose money was taken from some offshore account, Nigerian account, and because the bank, see, when you have a dispute with a bank, right? Say for instance, you look at your bank one day and $500 is missing. You're like, wait, who's this? And then you look up who this company is, and you call the number, and there's no answer, or if the thing goes, we're sorry. So the banks, what they like to do, if you make a claim that money was taken out of your bank without your consent and your authorization, they will look at the company and they call the company. Okay, so let me hear your side of the story and let me hear their side of the story, and then we will make a determination based on hearing both sides. Um, this is what banks do, right? Okay, um, and based on they have, it all starts with a phone call. And so if this company is legit, somebody's going to answer the phone and like, oh yeah, well yeah, they have to justify why they took that money out of your account, and they have to make this assessment. And based on what you said, well, I didn't authorize this, and they have to make the argument and say you did authorize it. But if there's nobody who answers the phone, that's clear cut case in your favor, meaning you called the bank and you're saying this money, you didn't authorize it, you did not consent, and you don't know who these people are. And if they call that company and nobody answers, case closed and you get your money back. So let me see. Foxhound said that might be possible. Each war is all about business, not only EU. Foxhound, what you're saying is 100% correct, but there's still channels in order for that money to get they that might be possible. Each war is all about business. Yeah, it's all about business, and because it's business, that means whatever channel that money's coming through, it can be traced. Do you disagree with that, Foxhound? Yeah, it's a business, so therefore, you should be able to trace the channels. Meaning, if I approve a check to you and you said, you know what, Mr. Blackson, I need money for X, Y, and Z. I send the money. I electrically send you the money. Now, unless I'm just sending you cash, then best what you can't trace it. But if I have a committee and saying, okay, well, we loan money and uh, we got approval for this money, and you came and visit our, I don't know, our store or our branch, and we said, okay, we know we approve you for a loan. You're going to have to sign documents, and we're gonna have to do background checks on you and see, your work and all that, and see if you're able to pay the money back. And once we got every all ducks in a row, then we sign off the check. So now that channel is from me writing you or our corporation approving the check for you because we got all the channels. We looked at your employment, we looked at your credit history, your credit score, we looked at all this stuff. And so now we're saying, okay, here we're sending the money to Foxhound. Now, Foxhound, you take the money. Now, there's a channel of us approving the money and getting the money to you. That's one channel. Once you get the money, you can't say, "Well, I never received the money," because now we have a serial code on that check, or we might have a watermark. We have a way of verifying that you went to your bank and cashed that check. So I'm not going to just see businesses don't just hand you just cash out of if I give you cash out of my pocket, that's considered a personal gift. As a business, keyword you said business. So when businesses are involved, there are procedures. Meaning we can't give you money out of our pocket. We have to give you a check and we have to go through processes. And so that's one channel. So you can't say, oh, well, I never got the money because we have sent you a check. Now you can say, "Oh, it got lost in the mail." Okay, well that means If the money is not cash, then we can cut you another check. But guess what? That other check is canceled if it's not cash. Now, once that thing is cash, somebody now that's another channel. So one channel is me, us sending you the money, Foxhound. That's one channel. So another channel is somebody got a hold of that check and cashed it. It may not have been you. That's another channel. So now that channel has to be investigated, and there's cameras. There are technologies to find out if it was you that cashed the check or if it was somebody else that cashed the check. Was that cash? Now, there's another channel. Did you receive that and did you sign it over to somebody else? That's another channel. Do you follow me so far? Let me know how. Let me know if you follow me. I'm gonna read some more of these comments because offshore accounts can be traced. Scratchers, I can't read your name. I'm sorry. I apologize. You said you can find cheap headliners. Oh, geez. Fucking shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. I own a dump truck and I own another vehicle. This is my third vehicle. You must not know what a sleeper is. Apparently, you don't know drag racing. So, again, welcome to the channel. Subscribe. I do drag racing also. This is my hoopty that I drag race in because people like you see, oh, his car's beat up, and then I smoke you because I put all my money. I don't go to the junkyard. I put all my money in the engine and transmission, so I can smoke people like you who get their car all fancy and they don't put a dime in their engine and transmission and pull up to next to me and I smoke you. That's called the sleeper, but you must be from a younger generation. You don't know, so. Oh Jesus, y'all get distracted too easy. Okay, so Foxhound says, or what money has been sent, it's only uh digits someone's screen. Right, but Foxhound in that technology, things can be traced. Again, the channel, because as long as, like I said, you've gone through the process and the channel of sending it to you and then somebody else cashes your check, we can find out through that channel who cashed that check, whether it was you or not. And then if you said you never received that check, we can cancel that check and cut you another check. That's how businesses work. You know that, Foxhound, you know that. You know that. I'm just explaining to people who, if you share this video with somebody else and they may not know, y'all know the procedure. That's why y'all here. Except for these people worrying about my car. Now they don't know. They on some being distracted with 3 card money and don't know what damn sleepers are. Cody said, bro, I didn't know how the insulated cars. Next comment. Hit the like button. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Foxhound. Foxhound is you in Ukraine is corruption in the U.S. That is just business. That is the truest statement, Foxhound. You said in Ukraine is corruption and the U.S. is business, and this is why Trump is coming to deal with this because Trump is saying enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. We sent billions and trillions of dollars, and y'all already see what Trump did with goddamn Trudeau in Canada, in Mexico. Miss Lynn, I gotta like you said, I gotta check out her show. She did a show and surprised me with her title. She did a show with damn Trump and Venezuela and them taking back the money. I was like, oh my gosh, these are the type of titles that I like, Miss Lynn. Keep the titles up like that, and then I need to get back on the show. If you do titles like that, I'm there. I'm there. I will cut everything out to be on Miss Lynn's show if she keep titles up like that. Okay, so Beverly White says, hit the like button. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, y'all. Lou said, I knew it was fraud day one. It's obvious. Yeah, we talked on that, Lou. We talked about it, and I knew it was fraud. When dealing with Biden, I already knew what time it was. But again, I'm like, even in fraud cases, it could be traced. So you have to be so arrogant, like the Bidens, and you have to. I guess he already planned to pardon his. Well, he pardoned his family. Trump was like he didn't pardon himself though. But Biden has presidential immunity, so I don't know. I don't know. I just know that we saw this from day one, and I knew dealing with Biden, I knew it was going to be some fugazi business going on. I already knew that. So I I already knew what time it was. Let's see. Let's see. He did. U.S. Army said either it was deposited in a Ukrainian bank or it didn't. It wasn't a small bill cash. No, it wasn't. But again, Army, we talking about channels. So even if, let's just say, Ukraine has the most corrupt banks and they can bury money, this and that, that channel will show that that money went in that direction. So again, just like if I have a loan department that lends you the money, that channel shows that money going in your direction. So again, there has to be a point from Congress to that Ukrainian bank. There's a channel there, and that channel can be traced. That channel can be traced because the only thing corrupt about Ukraine or America or anything is people looking the other way. That's where the corruption is. You can't corrupt the channel of where you can't corrupt the direction. You can only pay people to look the other way and say, I don't know what happened to the money. You can only pay people to say, I don't know what happened to the money. But when it comes to the channel is incorruptible, U.S. Army. So if it went in the channel in the direction of a Ukrainian bank, then that means that Ukrainian bank better show some receipts. That Ukrainian bank better show some receipts. And this is where Trump is now. But Zelensky said that when he says Ukraine, I'm assuming U.S. Army retired that he is saying that the money never, the channel never even made it to the Ukrainian bank because he said Ukraine. So obviously the Ukrainian bank is inside Ukraine. He said it never made it to Ukraine. So we're just dealing with channels here, U.S. Army. U.S. Army, we are only dealing with channels here. It's either the money made it to Ukraine or it didn't make it to Ukraine. And now if it made it to a Ukrainian bank, it made it to Ukraine, and Zelensky is lying. So what is it? What is it? So this is where we're at, yo. Is Zelensky lying? So we're gonna find out because he said the money never made it to Ukraine. And I doubt, now this is my doubt. This is my doubt. This is my opinion. I doubt Congress wrote a check to any other country, like some third party country, and then Ukraine. I don't think so because Zelensky came to the Congress himself asking for the money. So that means he would get the money directly, allegedly, directly. So that channel should be going directly to Ukraine or to the Ukrainian bank or to Zelensky. It should go directly. It should be not be no third party. It shouldn't be no third party because he came here himself asking for the money. Tell me if you disagree, Army. Army retired. Tell me if you disagree, man. Tell me if you got another if you got another it, because you guys always come up with these other uh, scenarios. You guys always do, and I admire y'all for that. But my mind right now is there's no other channel besides he came to Congress. Congress cut either him being the president of Ukraine. So they wrote that money, and that channel goes directly to Ukraine. So I don't know if there's any other explanation, but Trump wants those receipts. I want those receipts because Trump is all about business, so he wants those receipts. I want those receipts. And he gave damn Zelensky, he gave him that goddamn mugshot look. I know he did. Okay. Um, Lou, for certain, it wasn't pallet for cash like Obama sent into oblivion. Again, that Okay, I'm glad you brought up Obama because that money can be traced too. But again, as long as you got, see, Obama had a lot of people looking the other way. It's all about money doesn't disappear, but you can make people look the other way because they're getting their cuts. And it's high risk because the channels can be traced. The channels can be traced, people. We don't need like damn, the channels can be traced. It's not complicated. And you guys in the you guys know it's not complicated. The channels can be traced. So if Zelensky's lying, Foxtail. Oh, Foxtail, what's going on, man? Good afternoon. Hey, how you doing? Um, Lou said the Biden admin is so entitled, overconfident. They are over entitled and confident. Again, I believe Biden is relying on his presidential immunity, and he relied on his pardons. So yeah, the over entitled and over confident rests Lou on those two things: his presidential immunity and his pardons for his family. So I guess you would be confident too, Lou, if you had a presidential immunity and you had the power to pardon whoever you want, you'd be confident too, would you not? You would be confident too. And so yeah, you would do all kind of nefarious things when it comes to money and laundering and skimming off the top, or I mean, skim all of it. You ain't got to skim off the top. You could just make it disappear. That's why I said, when Army said, skimming off the top implies that the money made it to Ukraine. And that's why I was like, Army retired. No, this ain't skimming is one thing. That means you didn't get all of the money, but you got a portion of the money. You may not get all of the money because somebody didn't skimmed off the top. You, Zelensky said none of it made it. So you can't even accuse nobody of skimming of something that. How can you say the money was skimmed when the money never made it? Army retired, the money never made it. Oh, prosperity, hello, you doing? How you doing, sis? How you doing? Oh, speaking of money, speaking of money, prosperity has started a firestorm over there in Chicago. So it turns out Mike Johnston is stealing some money too, and Tiffany. Oh, a lot of things are going down in Chicago, but Chicago is just following the lead of the Biden administration, following the lead of the Democrats. Y'all go subscribe to Prosperity's channel because it be going down in Chicago. But the people in Chicago are showing us how to fight back. She's showing us that is a channel. You Prosperity are showing us. I don't know of any other channel of showing us how to fight back these demonic Democrats. I don't know of any other channel. Prosperity channel's doing it. So shout out to Prosperity. I don't know any other channel, and I watch a lot of political channels, domestic and foreign. I watch a lot of political, especially domestic. I don't know of any other YouTube channel showing us how to fight these Democratic dogs like Prosperity Channel. So yeah, Chicago is putting a fight to these demonic Democrats. I don't even want to because I know some of y'all share this material, and I don't want foul language, but let me just say demonic Democrats, and I'll just leave it at that. Demonic Democrats, and I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to be foul mouth here. I want to, I got women here, that I respect, and I got, I respect everybody. I don't want to stop cursing, but they make me want to curse because of the bold corruption that they show. And again, corruption is just simply looking the other way. Money doesn't just disappear. No, money just doesn't disappear. There are channels, and that money can be traced. You just got people who are, I don't know where the money went. Look the other way. So no money doesn't disappear at all. Okay, so Lou said maybe some made it to Ukraine and some didn't. They lie. And Lou, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out is Zelensky said none of it made it to Ukraine. This is what Zelensky told Trump. He said none of it made it to Ukraine. So guess what Trump is going to do? Trump is going to use this as a leverage for Zelensky to stand down in this war. And don't and before y'all go, oh, Trump's a puppet Putin. Before y'all start doing that nonsense, Trump is not a puppet Putin. Putin made a red line long before y'all started doing politics. This happened even before Putin. Trump said no Russian borders, no damn NATO on our borders. Ukraine not can join NATO. That is a red line. So and Trump understands this. Okay, for people that understand, this is the red line. So what I say that to say this: Zelensky is in no position to make demands. Trump is Trump like the ultimate negotiator, the deal maker, the businessman. He is the ultimate because he already has a leg up on Zelensky. Like Zelensky, where's all this money? So going into the negotiation, Trump has an upper hand where he won't get that much pushback from the Zelensky because Zelensky had an answer to this money. Now, again, Zelensky might be telling the truth. Like Luke said, maybe some of it did, maybe some of it didn't. But again, the channels don't lie. People lie, but channels don't lie. So Trump is saying to Zelensky, Congress cut you a check. You came here and they cut a check. And you're saying that check didn't make it? So are you saying, Zelensky, that Congress didn't cut you a check? Because as far as we know as Americans, Congress cut you a check. So are you saying, Zelensky, that they never cut you a check? Is that what you're saying? So are you calling our Congress our liars? Are you saying that Mike Johnson's a liar? Are you calling Mike Johnson and our Congress? Are you calling them liars? I'm not siding Zelensky. I'm not siding with the Congress. I'm not siding with you. I'm just asking questions because we were told checks were cut. The checks were cut, and you're saying that you never received the money. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. So, with that being said, let me read some more comments because I got to get in this story, y'all, and I haven't even needed, but let's see. Votes don't just end up being miscounted either. Fox, that's a whole nother show. But um, when we fix that, you're going to see changes not only in California, but you're going to see them in Colorado and Chicago, which Prosperity's from Chicago and Jesse's from Colorado. So we're going to see some major changes when we get the counting in order, like we did in Georgia. You know, we took back our red state, our great red state of Georgia, and very proud of it. So let's see. Prosperity says, right, just like illegals was protesting for living quarters with Brandon Johnson. Oh, God, Brandon Johnson. Oh, gosh. Prosperity, I'm going to do a show with you. Um, Let me know when you're going to be back on Miss Lynn's show. Or if Miss Lynn don't do a show, then we need to, yeah, because we need to see that progress with Tom Homan in Chicago. Because they're wilding out in California. They're wilding out. They're having damn protest rallies that are, I mean, they're shutting down highways and shit. The Mexicans are going crazy in California. So I want to do a show on that. I want to be at home to show y'all that because, yeah, I was shown this video and they shut down the Mexicans. They shut down the highway. They were protesting Tom Homan. So that's going to be an interesting battle interesting battle. But see, Chicago is deep, deep America. See, California is it's America, but not America. Chicago is America. So I can't you can't really compare Chicago and California. Chicago, you're deep, you're in the Midwest, so they're not on. They have a better fighting chance in California than they do in Chicago. Chicago is Chicago. So uh, Prosperity says this was a great rich scheme to the Dems capitalize on. I don't think. Well, it's a rich scheme as long as people turn their heads, Prosperity. But when you got somebody like Trump, it puts a big damper. It puts a big damper, and that's why they try to, y'all. Can y'all still hear me? All right, let me get going. Shout out to Prosperity. Shout out to Fox. Shout out to everybody. Damn, I'm sorry I didn't get all of your comments. My battery's about to go. So I love y'all. They running for their lives here. Oh, I know they are, Prosperity. I know they are, man. Chicago is not a good place to be for migrants. Prosperity Vega already posted his vid on the illegals are blaming the black Americans. What? Why I gotta end the show like this? Let me just read before I go. Let me read what Prosperity said. Prosperity said Vega already posted his vid of illegals are blaming black Americans for getting busted. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. All right, show's over, y'all. I'm done. I gotta end up. Oh, let me read one more. Beverly said, "Thanks, Prosperity, for keeping us informed about Chicago. Thank you. I love y'all, man. Let me get going. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Miss Lynn. Shout out to Prosperity. Shout out to Fox. Shout out to Mac. Shout out to Relax and Talk Sports. Shout out to if I miss anybody, peace, y'all. We out. Peace, y'all.